Hold on, I'm setting up. Okay, there we go. Hey, Nidra. All right. All right. So I'm on into part two of my story. Okay. Um, so my ex-boyfriend at the time, he was very belligerent and he came home very like he was on something. He was on some kind of something. And I was asking him, like, what's wrong? Like, you want to talk about it? And he was just so belligerent, like he just didn't want to hear what I have to say. We was arguing about money at the time. So he kept going back and forth, saying that I had to leave from here. He doesn't want me here. I don't belong here, stuff like that. So I'm fighting back, or basically just speaking, taking a stance on the things that he's trying to do to me here, and he didn't like it, to the point where he thought it was in his right to take his hand and to put it over my neck. I have those pictures, I have those videos posted on TikTok. And when he did that, I let out the loudest scream that I could. Whatever strength I had, I mustered up so much strength, and I just, yeah, and just yelled because I wanted to ensure that somebody heard me. And my son was there. So the police was called, and police really didn't do anything about the situation because he lied and said that I was the one that was belligerent and I was the one that was crazy and all this stuff, and I wasn't. And he had a gun out and everything. He pulled the gun out at me and everything. So as I looked at that, the one thing that really bothered me or shook me to my core is when he said, "I knew your mother. I knew your mother was right. She did say you was crazy." And why that shook me to my core, because as I mentioned, I asked her first if I can give him her number. And I decided that I wasn't going to give him the number because I decided he didn't need to speak with her after the experience that I went through with her when I was at my apartment. I had a birthday party for a friend at the time, or a so-called friend at the time. And he was there, my mom was there, and when she was asking certain questions, I was like, well, yeah, nah, I don't want them talking or anything like that, because I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want him to get the wrong, I just didn't want like no issues or anything like that. So when he said that, that's when I knew that he was talking to her behind my back. And the first thing I did was I got everything, whatever I could. I got whatever I could. I had some money stashed, some money saved, and then like the next couple of days, maybe like 2 days or so, I was able to get into another place. So it was like, even though they tried everything to keep throwing things at me, trying to make me stop, trying to make me, block me from moving forward, I still was able to like bounce back on my feet like instantaneously. So yeah, it's like a cat just leaping from a very high, velocity of things, and then you just falling down, but you landing on all fours perfectly and gently. Like, that's just me. I'm always just able to just get right back up. So so with that being said, like I said, I have the videos on TikTok, and you can see like the bruise and the scar marks. My son even recorded a video of him threatening me because he lied and said that he never did. And thank goodness for my son. My son was smart enough to record it, and I was like, yes. Like, I didn't think anything of it because I was like, you could hear me crying in despair and things of that nature for what he was trying to do to me. And then he just sat there and just lied like it was nothing. And it was kind of odd too, because, I'm a very strong person, and he know I would fight back, but he will always ask me if I had my protection on me. And at the time, I didn't have my protection on me because I felt like I didn't need it. But now that I can look back and think about that whole scenario, he would always, 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 always ask me if I had my piece on him, or on me, if I had my piece on me. And now I can go back and think about it, is because he was afraid that, because I'm sure he heard about, my military background and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like Yeah, so I feel like maybe he wanted to beat me to the punch. I don't know, child. I don't know, but it was just very odd that he would have conversations about me to my mother in regards to me after I like mentioned to him, she's not a good person. I kind of ran down the whole list of everything to, you know, to or going down the list in regards to the type of individual that she's not, and still went ahead and just took her side and everything. Okay, cool. Fast forward, I found out that my sister had a baby. So my aunt at the time, who was alive at the time, me and her was really cool. She was like a mother to me. So she reached out to me and she asked me, she said, "Are you going to the baby shower?" So I said, "What baby shower?" She was like, "Your sister baby shower." I was like, "My sister baby shower?" And she was like, "Yeah, you sister having a baby." I was like, "I ain't know nothing about that." I didn't know anything about that. So she was like, "You didn't know anything?" And she was actually upset. She was very upset that I wasn't aware. And I'm like, "Well, why are you upset?" "I'm not upset. She didn't want me there." So I didn't feel no type of way about it. I didn't. But my aunt was so crushed that I wasn't there and she didn't understand what's the disconnect between you and the family. And I said, "I ain't got no issues with them. It's all them. They don't want to talk about me." You know what I mean? So, so she had the baby and she brought the baby over to my house. And the baby looks so peculiar, like my son. And I'm like, "Well, we're only half. We're half sister. We're not full blood siblings, so we're half." So I'm looking at things, and I went and I did my own research and things, and I found out that my sister had a baby with my ex-husband. Now, the thing about it, again, I'm not upset or mad about it. It is what it is. But the thing about it is that they were hiding that they were doing it. And my whole thing is, y'all know how I feel about that. If you big and bad, if you big and you bad, and you doing it in privately, you should be big and bad in public. That's how I feel about it. What's the whole point of hiding things that you're doing? Because you don't want to be ridiculed by society, you don't want to be ridiculed by your peers, you don't want to be ridiculed by the community. What's the whole reason of doing so bad or doing ill things to people behind the scene when all you're going to do is just run away because you don't want to take responsibility for what you've done? Make that make sense. Make it make sense. So, and I realized there was a lot of like impurities in the connection between my sister and my mother, and they're always going places. I don't get to go places. um they talked about my clothes, they talked about the way I dress, and it's just odd stuff, just very odd stuff. My mom put my sister in front of me. She always said that my sister was better looking than me, she's smaller than me, she's more beautiful than me. And it never really hurt me. I think what really hurt me the most is that I wasn't able to have a connection, like a secure, healthy, emotional, balanced connection with my mother. I think that's the only thing that hurt me. All that extra stuff, I don't care about. I don't care about the connection for her now, but when I was longing for it or when I was looking for it, it's like, "Oh, okay, I don't care. But they did things, or they thought that they did things to ensure that I would be in a position where I would just give up on life. So it was like my mother knew that she knew what she was doing, and she really placed a lot of roadblocks in my life to ensure that I would not move forward here. So not only that, she set me up to get me unalived by my ex-boyfriend. So here's the kicker. My ex-husband is involved, my ex-boyfriend is involved, and then I also have a friend that I thought was a friend that was involved. Now, the friend I've mentioned when I had the birthday party, that's the girl that I was talking about. She came into the scene or in my life when I had first moved to Texas, and we met each other offline or online. And she had a catering business at the time that was doing okay. But I realized when she came around me, things soared really well for her. So she thought at the time, she was playing me close, so she could get close to me here, and she can be my friend, but kind of use me in a way. So you don't have to do nothing to me to get me to say yes. If I feel deep down in my heart that I'm going to help you, then I'm going to help you. You know what I mean? I'm not going, you ain't got to do no spell work and no weird stuff to get me to help you. If I feel deep down in my heart to help you, I'll just help you. So all that stuff don't really work. But anywho, So I found out she was doing like spell work and candle work. It was like a whole group of friends that was doing it, child. And she just kept trying to play me close. Like she'll call me and ask me about my connection with the ex-boyfriend. How you doing? And I'm like, why she keep asking me about that? But me, I don't care. I'm like, hey, I'm good. We're good. I never said anything negative. I just said we were good, and we were good at the time. And she will always call me, always text me, and she's living in a hotel, or she were living in a hotel. But at the time, she didn't have anything. She had got into a car accident one time. And she called me, and I was with my kids at the time, and she was very far away. And she called me frantic. I just got T-boned by a truck, and I need you, or not need you, can't you come help me or get me? So I said, yeah, I dropped everything what I was doing, and I went to them. So I told the other friends, I said, hey, I'm about to go get such and such. Y'all want to come with me? Everybody said no. At the time, I didn't understand or anything. They just said, no. And I was like, okay. So I just went and I got her. Come to find out, that energy that she was trying to put on me, it happened to her. She got into the car accident. And guess who she called for help? The same person who she tried to put into the car accident. You see how people could be very wicked? Anywho, I didn't know this at the time. So when she lost everything, she was staying in hotels, bouncing from hotel to hotel, like it was really bad for her. And she asked me, can she stay in my place for a month? So my spirit was like rocking, like, no. Like my spirit kept telling me, no. But I did ignore my spirit, and I told her that she only can stay for a week. You can't stay for a month. After a week, you gotta go. So she said, okay. So she did what she had to do, and she was out in like maybe 4 days tops or something like that. So she did, she left, and she got into another hotel. So it's like a prepaid weekly thing where you pay weekly to stay at the hotel or something like that. I've been there a couple times. She didn't have a car. She had to use Uber to rent the car to like as her car. So she'll do the work, and then she'll use the car for whatever she needs to use it for. So that was her way of getting a car, because she had totaled her last car. But that was supposed to be for me, but it ended up happening to her. Anywho, so she got her place or whatever, and I was with the ex-boyfriend at the time, and he do a lot of like home carpentry, stuff like that. That's his background. So we would go from like different places, and he would get paid to like take out the trash out of people's homes and stuff like that. So sometimes I will go with him certain times and kind of help out from time to time. And she was aware of it. She was the only friend that was aware of the connection, because I never put him online. I never said who he was, because I was like, I'm not going, you know what I mean? I thought I was playing it safe, but clearly I wasn't. So she just kept playing it close. So yeah, so we went to this one spot, was cleaning out the spot, and it was like brand new stuff. It was an Airbnb, and the guy was like, just take whatever you need. So I thought of her, and I was like, well, there's a TV here. You know, I got all my stuff. I'm in my apartment and stuff. I'm trying to look out for her. So I said, I was like, can I have this TV? He was like, yeah, take it. So I took the TV. It was like an hour away, because Texas is Texas. You know, Texas is long. So it took me about an hour or so just to get to her house. And I went, it was like out of my way. And I went and I gave her the TV and stuff like that. And she was so grateful and da. So I did a good deed, you know? So I didn't come with I never had malice in my heart for her. So, long story short, that night when my ex-boyfriend tried to unalive me here, I realized that she was a part of it. Not only was she a part of it, she was sleeping with him, telling him that I'm a this, I'm a that, I do this for this, I do that for that, and I don't do anything. I be on here all the time, child. I'm always here working somewhere. So, but anywho, that's what she said, and it really pushed him in a position where he felt like he could put his hands on me, because he was listening to not only the friend, he was listening to my mother. And my mother was upset because I completely cut ties with her. Once I realized like the type of evil person she was, I like dead the situation. I cut it off. Like I can't, no, I cut it off. So when I cut off the connection, she felt some type of way, and she felt that the only way that she can get in contact with me or have some form of information on me is if she is connected to my friends. And she turned my friends against me. She paid them for things. She paid their rent. She paid their light bill. Like it was just odd. Like she did not care, because she she wanted to like stay in control of like getting the information and flow. So there were a couple of friends who I thought were my friends turned out to not be my friends. So I could have been like a Shinquella. That could have been a Shinquella incident. Like it was so many plots on my life because of my mother. Like I've always had to constantly watch my back because every person that I attempt to make a friend with, my mother is aware someone turned against me or someone trying to hurt me and whatever. So I was like, you know what? Let me cut this lady off. I'm gonna cut this mother off and I'm gonna cut this friends off. So that way nobody knows anything. If I want to make new friends, which I do have, now that I have my new friends, they don't know who my new friends are. I don't say anything about anything. And my friends are aware because I'm very open and vocal about it. And I say, hey, you know, are you okay with such and such? And if the answer is yes, okay, cool. If the answer is no, that's also cool. But my friends are in a very, we have a very reciprocal and healthy state where we both understand each other and we don't cross each other boundaries. So with that being said, yeah, my new friends are my new friends and no one will know who they are. They know who they are. That's the most important thing. As long as they know I'm there for them wherever they need. I need to come through, I'm gonna come through. That's it, that's all. But thank you for the puff, heart puff. Thank you for the gifts. So yeah, so with that being said, what happened? Damn, I lost the train of thought. What else happened? What are you talking about? Couture, what are you talking about? So that played out there. So my ex-boyfriend at the time was like doing a lot of like spying and stuff. And anyone that knows me knows that my intuition is like super heightened. Sometimes to a point where it can come off as scary because I'm like scary accurate. And that really put like a bubble in their chest. You know, it makes them feel very uncomfortable because I just know and I just see things. And when I feel like being petty, I may say something and be like, oh, it may, you know, yeah, may raise the hair on your neck or something. But anywho, so that's that there. So now it's to the point where, oh yeah, I was talking about the friend, yeah. So I helped the friend out as much as I could, and then I just realized things was just not going well. I even hooked her up with one of my friends, and she did him dirty. So I'm like, yo, you're not right for me. Like, I'm not into that weird stuff. Like, if you want to go out there and be weird, then do that. Just, I don't want no parts of that. I just don't want no parts of that. Be weird on your own. But when I realized that she was being weird, I started to separate from her too. And she felt some type of way. She felt some type of way because I was in a new connection with the ex at the time. And she felt like I was taking, my time was more into like my family and into him. And she didn't like that. So she did some things here to get me caught up as well too. So there was a group of friends who like I really rally for. I will post them all the time, promote them and stuff like that, and they just turned on me based on what she was saying. So it was just odd because I actually had a workshop that I had did back in 2021, 22. I don't remember the date, but I did my first Afro Zen workshop, and it was here in Texas. And I had other people involved as well too, and I wanted to help them because you know me, like I said, like if I'm eating, we all gonna eat. You know what I mean? Like if I got information or resources that could benefit you, like here, and you cool, here. You know what I mean? I don't gatekeep and all that weird stuff. That's just weird to me. Gatekeep is weird. But anywho, gatekeeping is weird. But anywho, so like I'm that type of person that I'm always resourceful with something. Oh, what? Oh, here you go. Like I always know something for something. But anywho, and I noticed that I invited her into it. And after I invited her, everything fell apart. Everybody like, I don't want to be a part of it no more. I don't know where you from. I don't know what you're doing with the money, what you this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I had every bit of information receipt as a Scorpio. We don't throw away nothing. A Scorpio don't throw away anything. We keep everything. I ain't throwing away nothing. So I keeps everything. I don't care how old it's been. Oh, I'm going to need this for some. So I always keep receipts. And, I guess this person thought maybe, I don't know, child. But when I needed her the most, this is when I knew that something was off. This is when the bell rang for me. When I got into that incident with the ex-boyfriend, the first person I called was her. I asked her if I can just stay over for the night. I just need a night and then I'll figure it out and I'll be out your way. She told me no, she don't have any space. And I said, oh, okay, no problem. I didn't yell at her. I ain't curse her. I just said, oh, okay, no problem. And that's when I knew that something was off with that connection there. Something was off with that connection there. So as I was driving to just to get my mind together, everything just started to flooding. Because now that I'm away from everything, away from the situation, everything is flooding in regards to what I should be doing versus what I should not be doing. And that's when I made a vow that day to cut everybody off from my past. Like, I didn't care who was connected to who, like everybody from my past, like everybody from my past, I have to cut them off. And I did just that. I cut them off. Thank you for the gifts. I cut them off. She was upset that I cut them off because she was the close person or the confidant to my mother to get information about me. And if she can't get to me or she don't got nothing on me, she can't get anything. My mother can't get anything. So it's just a whole thing of toxicity here. And oh, she's pregnant by the ex. So she also has an incurable as well too. They just real foul and nasty, child. They just real foul. And I'm just glad that I was able to to dodge all of that. Yeah. I'm just glad I was able to dodge all that BS that they got going on. But it was horrible. And right now she is going through such harsh karma. Yeah. Yeah. She's going through so much karma right now, child. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, she's going through so much karma right now, child. Yeah, they all are actually. Yeah, yeah. They're going through some extreme karma right now. Hey, Asira, and I'm just sitting back like, oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, she did do me dirty. And when she told me that she couldn't let me stay for the one night, I asked for one night and she came and asked me for stay with me for a month. She had just came from Chicago because after the car accident, and she could have almost, but the car accident was a wake-up call, or so she, she was supposed to see. But that car was total. That car was total. You hear what I'm saying? Thank you. That car was total, child. It really was. And I helped her as much as I could. And for her to do that to me, I was like, nah, that ain't cool. But I guess she was expecting me to like be upset or be angry or yell and scream at her. And y'all know how I feel about emotions. If it's not going to affect me, then I don't need to have a response to it. That's what I've learned. If it's not going to affect me in an adverse way, or if you're doing things to think that you're going to affect me in an adverse way, it's not going to affect me. It's really not. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Because there's nothing to affect me for. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was like she thought it was like a flex to just I guess try to come into my life, because like this girl is trying to do everything I do, and it's just weird, like, but she's doing it quietly behind the scenes, which that bothers me. And the reason why it bothers me is because it can't be hidden. So why are you know what I mean, why are you trying to hide what you're doing? Just be out, like, do it out proudly. Why are you hiding it? If you doing wrong, why are you hiding it? Stop hiding it. Do it in public so we can see you. So that's why I'm irritated, because she's not real like she says she are. She's not real. She's nowhere to be found. Like, it's not a fight, but it's not a fight, but the way people think, like. So that's that with that. This is why my mother has been doing all this weird stuff. They're still doing it, but I'm not afraid of it. So I'm just like, oh, okay. But yeah, so that's my story. In a nutshell, it's more, but that's just the overview of my story here. Like, my mother has, ever since I've been in that family, and that's not my family. I found out that I was adopted too, so that's not even my real family. Like I said, it's just a lot that I've just been finding out in regards to who these people truly are, and it's just so daunting and haunting to even having to see them in that way, especially when you are living with them every day and you're just looking at them with the best of the best type of point of view, and you're thinking everything is a-okay, but they want you to accept abuse as is. Like, they want you to accept it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, abuse is abuse, and they want you to accept abuse, and I'm not one to accept that, because I'm not one to be like arguing and fighting. I really don't like to do it unless I have to, and if I don't have to do it, then shoot, I'm just not going to do it. But this, yeah, there's just like, yeah, like I said, that lady, she's a police officer at the Philadelphia Police District, 39th District. It's off 39th and Lancaster. I gotta double check the district, but she's at the Philadelphia Police Department. Her badge number is 2143. And my father before, or stepfather, he was working at the post office there. So they had like the perfect connection there. So to do they BS there. So they've been like taking my mail, swindling it, and all this weird stuff. And now they're trying to repent, and they're trying to say sorry, and they're trying to come back, and they're trying to, it's just weird. It's just odd, but they're only trying to come back in because they know they're caught. So that's why they're doing the things that they're doing here, and it's sad. So I can't be at fault for that. That's on them. So that's why I use my story, I use my testimonial. I use my experiences to help other people see that, it's okay. First off, abuse is not okay. It's not. But abuse needs to be spoken about or more open so that people can be aware in regards to if they're going through it. Because it's like, for instance, I know you guys keep saying narcissist. I didn't even know what a narcissist was until someone else that was going through it was able to pinpoint and tell me, hey, this is what it is. So a lot of times people be going through things and they're not even aware that they're going through things because they don't have the right information or the right tools to, to ensure that the things that they're seeing is what it is, and sometimes it may take another person to come along to actually show you that, hey, there's a different way. So that's where I come in here. So just kind of using my story as that to open up the eyes of other people and letting people know that not everything, like everything that glitters is not gold. Like everything that you always see may not, it could be a cover up for something, and like I said, most people might do things to cover it up because they don't want people to know. They're afraid, maybe they think they're the only one. Because for me, when I was telling my story and other people relate to it, like that still mine F's me a bit, because I'm like, damn, you went through that too? Like, what you talking? You went through that? So to know and to learn that a lot of other people are going through the same experiences similar to what I went through. Crazy that a lot of people who have that initial shock is like, like it's an initial shock. And then when you're trying to tell your story and the way that the story is being told, a lot of times people don't listen to you or won't hear you because it seems so far-fetched. Again, it seems so far-fetched because they're hiding it. They're doing things in egregious ways to ensure that other people won't be aware of the things that they're doing. So if you do decide to speak up, they were like, what are you talking about, man? That sounds so far-fetched. You're not making sense. You're not this, you're not that. Thank you, boo. That girl. Thank you. You know what I mean? So people like, that's what people do when they don't want to get caught. They have to make overweighs the truth. And that's what my mother and my father figure did here. My father's a pedophile, and I don't care. Like, I'll even say to his face, like I said it before, that man is a whole straight up pedophile. And is upset that his whole life is exposed. What that got to do with me? You should have never done it. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You should have never done it. But they're doing a lot of crazy stuff. I feel like after his mother passed, which is my grandmother, who I really consider grandmother. So there was only two people that I really thought that I can like have like hope from, and it was my grandmother and my aunt. And those two passed in a 2-week time span. So my grandmother is my aunt's mother. So they were mother and daughter. And for them to pass like that in a 2-week time span, I'm like, oh my God. So that really, that hit me hard. But That was it. I think that's the most emotional I've ever been, was when my aunt had passed. I was close to my grandmother, but more my aunt. So yeah, so when you do speak out, you're seen as the problem. That's okay. If you are the problem, I'm sure you're gonna be the solution too. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. That's why I always say you gotta have tough skin when you are speaking your truth. Because if you don't have tough skin, they're gonna eat you alive. They're gonna eat you alive. And everybody that thinks that when someone is jumping on you or in a negative way, they just look at it as normal, because that's what people don't have a newer perception or a bigger perception, because of the only the one perception that they have, which is very flawed. So if you're not introducing new perceptions to people, and all they know is just that one perception, it's going to be very hard for you to get them to see it in a different way. And I'm not even going to use the word believe. It's just literally it's going to be very hard for you to show them, or for them to open up and see in a different way. And some people don't want to see things in a different way, because some people can't handle what others go through, like the trauma and stuff. They may talk that game and all that rah-rah stuff, but some people really can't go through what some of us experience. That's why they keep it quiet. Yeah, they're very manipulative. Very, very manipulative. They are, I agree. I truly agree, George. I truly agree. I truly agree. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it is a normal thing, especially, I only can speak from my perspective, especially in the Black community, is very prevalent there. So me being exposed to other cultures and other backgrounds, and I'm not saying it don't exist in those other backgrounds. I'm not saying that, but from my experience, I just see it differently or vastly, in a bigger way that is not really common in from my perspective, my experience of things. So it's just crazy. Yeah, my mother poisoned my aunt. She did. She did. She poisoned my aunt. She did. Hmm. She sure did. And that's why they afraid of me to speak out, because I speak truth and hard truth, and they can't handle it. But my whole thing is, why is that my problem that you can't handle the truth? If you can't handle the truth, stop doing the lies. So that way you don't have to handle the truth. I mean, does that make sense or not make sense? If you cannot handle the truth, then stop playing with lies. Stop playing with it. Because if you think that you're going to be careful, or you're going to be hitting behind a lie, think again. Think again. So they're responsible for their decisions. Again, you don't want to hear the truth, don't do anything to cause a lie. Don't do anything to cause a lie. That simple. That simple. It's something. Oh, it's definitely something. Mm-mm-mm. They do rate. Well, to be honest, I've never ever seen that lady angry at all. And I think that's probably the scariest thing ever, thinking about it. I've never, ever, 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 ever seen her scream. Ever. Never. Or yell. Mm-mm. My stepfather every day. So I seen dad growing up every day. But her, she got like a very still simmer, and she just watched you with her eyes. It never scared me, but to another person that may come off as scary, because like I said, I was never afraid of her, because I was always like giving her pushback, and she didn't like that. So that's why she always would do like inflict abuse and things of that nature. So I would definitely say my I didn't have a good childhood. I did not. I really didn't. I didn't have a good childhood. So yeah, she just watches you. She just watches you like real cold, and I'll watch her back. And she couldn't understand me. Like, the things that she would do, it wouldn't faze me. So I would do it back. It was like everything she mirrored, everything that she projected, I would do it back. And that would drive her crazy. No, I'm so serious. Like, I don't have not a fear bone in my body for any of them. I just don't see why I should be afraid for something I didn't do. I ain't do it. Even though they did the things that they did towards me, you know, it is what it is. That's my life. That's what happened. I just don't seem, I don't seem moved. I don't seem fazed by them. I don't. Especially when I can tell my story in this way. Sierra, see, they doing too much, girl. Too much. That is too much. But yeah, my mother has always been my biggest downfall since I was small. Since I was small, she has always been my biggest downfall. She did not want me to be, yeah, she didn't want me to be independent. She didn't want me to have anybody. She wanted to destroy everything I worked for. The lying, the slandering. She told my ex-husband that I was a gardening tool, that all I did was have babies to trap him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I make more than him. We're like, what? I still got that information with me. What are you talking about? Like, it was just odd. Like, they would say weird stuff like that. And he slept with my sister and had a baby child. And then my ex-friend did it with my ex-boyfriend. So I'm like, where's the flex in this? Where's the flex in any of this here? Like, for real, where's the flex in all of this? Because you said, what now? Yeah. So, it just don't make sense to me, child. Okay? It just don't make sense to me. It just don't make sense to me. You cannot outshine a narcissist. Is not allowed. Well, that's why they don't like me, because I do that all the time. And I do that so pettily, unapologetically. Because I know their weak spots, and what they're going to do. What can a narcissist do to you? Just me, my perspective. What can a narcissist do to you when you already know all of the, you know, all the things that make them a narcissist? There are many ways to finagle or subdue a narcissist. That's why Spirit made me a Scorpio for a reason. I'm just saying. Yeah, trying to figure out how to break you, but clearly none of it worked. And the sad part about it is that she used like my friends and, you know, family members who I did have a connection with, like people who I will go to for advice and stuff. She made sure that she would break or disconnect the connection so that way I don't have anyone but her. So every time something happened, she always thought that I will go back to her, and I never would. I never would. I remember one time I was pregnant with I had just had my last son, and he didn't have his surgery yet. And when I left my friend's house back in Delaware, my other friend from Jersey came and meet me to help get the U-Haul truck, because I wanted to go back to my mom's house to, you know, get on my feet. And when I came back to the house, she told me, nope, you can't stay here. Nope, I don't care where your kids go. You need to go to a shelter. You need to this, you need to that. And she was the only one in the house. Like, all the kids was out, so it was more than enough space and everything. And she told me flat out, no, you don't need to be here. You're this, you're that, da, da, da. So I said, okay, no problem. So I left there, and as soon as I left there, I got a call from my ex-husband. Oh, you don't have a place to stay. I'm gonna take you to court. Da, da, da. Like, my mother was horrible, child. That lady was fucking horrible. She was horrible. She was horrible, and I will always admit, man, that lady was horrible, child. That lady was horrible, y'all. She got to keep up with the Joneses. She got to make sure she looked better than me. Like, when I was working out with my friend, she came with me to the gym because she was visiting me in Texas. And I actually have a picture of that as well too. And my friend was like, "What's wrong with your mom?" I was like, "I don't know. Like, she weird." And I said just like that, "She weird," just like that. But it was just really odd. Like she was even trying to compete with me with doing weights, like exercising. It's not a competition. I'm not in competition with anybody. I don't care what you have or what, you know what I mean? So I just don't see the whole reason to be doing all that because I just don't. Oh yeah, I know that now, but it's sad because it doesn't make sense for it to be that way. You know what I mean? And then trying to unalive me because I won't listen to you. That's weird. That's really weird. Yeah, my mom did a lot to the neighbors too. My mom turned the neighbors on me. I was friends with a couple of, neighborhood kids. They stopped speaking to me specifically. My sister, my brother, they went around them, but me, not me. Nobody could be around me. It was just really odd. Just very odd the way they move. I couldn't date. I couldn't, I didn't move out until I was 26. I literally forced myself out because I'm like, why am I still here? I'm going through this disrespect. You know what I mean? You trying to figure out what I got going on and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to be. I literally had to force myself out of the situation because just the way this mother figure kept trying to keep me from moving forward. It's crazy. I literally had to pry my way out of there because if not, I probably wouldn't even be here telling my story the way that this lady coming for me. And she getting anybody possible. And because she work on the police force, she has, connections there. And I guess that's supposed to scare me. It doesn't, but, like she has her little connections or whatever and found out some things about that. And I'm like, oh, okay, so y'all working together. Nice. Trying to figure out information and stuff like it's weird. It's really, really, really weird. Like to the point she do not want me to have a life. If I can't have a life, she's willing to take it. And child, please, you ain't taking my life. Who? My life? Child, please. You ain't taking my life. You ain't, boo. Try again with that one. You just ain't. You just ain't, boo. So, but she's trying to keep her hands clean. She want other people to do it, which doesn't make sense to me. You're the one that hate me. So why are you bringing other people involved in something that you're doing? If you catch my drift, you know what I mean? So, but this mother figure just don't see it in that way. She wants to have her way, my way. Like she really thought that she was going to get a call and expect me to be unalive somewhere because she was looking forward to my boyfriend doing it. But she was using, or ex-boyfriend, she was using my ex-friend to get information from me. So the ex-friend is giving information to not only the ex-boyfriend, lying to him, he's getting upset at me. He's arguing with me. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with you? What? Why are you acting like that? Come to find out, he talking to the ex-friend and the ex-mother. And they going together and they plotting and stuff behind my back. Now nobody's nowhere to be found. Everybody's quiet. Everybody's shh. Ain't nobody talking. Well, what's the point of having shame when you're the one that's causing it? You're causing the shame. Why would you be in shame? So I did have it the worst when I was young. As a child, I was abused. I have the scars, the shows all over my arms. Like my mother locked me outside. It was cold as hell. I'm like, can you open the door? No, you're not gonna come in. You need to this. And it was an attachment outside, so behind the house. So the older attachment, it was wooden floors. So winter time, you're gonna feel the winter. Springtime, like whatever elements of season, you're going to feel it because the back part of that home was wood. Even the floor was concrete, and you gotta watch where you step and stuff like that. So that's where the trash and stuff goes out there. So she told me to go put the trash out, and I did. Then I heard a lock, and I turned around. I tried to open the door. She wouldn't open the door, and it was freezing. I didn't have my jacket on. I didn't have no shoes on or anything. And I'm like, can you open the door? Like, I think I had to be about 12 or 13 at the time. No, I'm not going to open the door. You're going to stay in there. And it was a glass window or a glass door. It was one of them older antique doors. And I kept banging on the door. I said, "Can you let me in? It's cold out here. Like, I want to come in. It's cold." "No, no, no. You ain't said that. You need to cool off. You need to this." I said, "Okay, man." I bust through that mouth. Child, please. I bust through that mouth. I said, I bust through it. You hear me? You not going. I said, "I'm cold out here and I need to get in." And you telling me I can't get in? Man, I bust through. I hit that and I had scars all over my hand. She was so mad. She was so mad at the glass that was on the floor. And she's like, "You need to clean this up, and you need to this, and you need to that." And I was like, I told her, I was like 12. I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you." I said, I despise you. Like, I said all this stuff to her. And she said, "I'm going to tell your father, and you're such a ignorant person. You're such a B, you're this, what? I'm cold. I'm telling you, I'm cold. You locked me out there. You told me to put the trash out there. I put the trash out there. You saw what I had on. I didn't have any like proper attire to be, for the elements of winter. You saw it, you knew it, but then you're telling me no, stay out there. Okay, well, let me, I bust through it. What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna stay cold out there. So I did have my moments where I would come off as such, and that's what they were trying to show to the world, because they wanted to ensure that they saw the wild side out of me, or get the wild side, so that way people can deem me as like a mean person or a violent person. And I'm not a violent person. I'm not a mean person. But if you got somebody that's coming towards you, are you just going to sit there and just let them do it? No, I'm going to fire right back at you, as I should, because that's my prerogative and that's my protection. So if you don't want me to do or say anything to you, don't do it to me first. I would never ever start with you, ever. I would never ever ever. Oh, hey. Okay, Tel Aviv, nice. Welcome. Okay. um Yes, I've learned about that as well. I didn't even know that was such a thing in regards to reactive abuse. I never knew it was a thing. I just thought it was just I was the only person that went through it. But yeah, my mother did some very hurtful and harmful things towards me. She even poisoned my food, poisoned my drinks, tried to make me real sick. I always had to take medicine when I went to sleep. Like, it was crazy. I was touched by my stepfather. It's just a whole bunch of just nastiness that I had to endure, because people don't know how to take care of themselves, child. It was just very horrific. It was. And I couldn't even have a, I remember I'm always trying to bury the hatchet. I'm always trying to, have a conversation with them. And I had all my kids at the time, and I've always wanted my kids to like have a close relationship with their grandparents, their aunt and their uncle. Like, I'm big on family. No one cares. No one is willing to anything. If I say anything, they don't care. But the minute that something that they see is off, they got something to say, like kids are going to have scuffed shoes. They're running, you can't keep a child's shoe clean. You got it. You know what I mean? They're always out and about, whatever. So we had just came from the park and it had grass on the shoes. We were in the park. What do you expect? You know what I mean? So she came over and look at the condition of the shoe. You ain't a good mother. You ain't this. I'm like, bro, we just came back from the park. Like, I'ma clean it. It's not that serious, Yeah, and she just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and egging and egging and egging, and to the point where I'm like, and that's exactly what she wanted. She wanted me to just basically like yell and scream, so that way she be like, you see what I mean? You see how I talk about? You see how I talk about? So it's just sad. And even though I suffered what I suffered here, yeah. And then she's upset at me because I don't want to repeat the cycle. It just doesn't make sense. She doesn't want me to end the cycle. She wants me to repeat the cycle. And then she's trying to come back and trying to call me. Like, I don't want anything to do with her. I just don't. As of now, I don't have a mother. I already had the funeral and everything. Or I'll say that's not my mother. I'll say that because it's not. It literally, it's not. That's not my mother. That's not my biological mother. Anyways, that's what I found out. So it's not my father and it's not my mother. So there's no reason to like get upset, get irate, because now that I understand what I went through, like a mother would not, a real mother, a real healthy mother wouldn't do that. So I've come to terms that that's not a mother, and I'm okay with it. Like, okay, no problem. Like, I don't feel no type of way. I don't lose sleep, just like, so Oh, absolutely, Jedi. So, yeah, they are so mad at themselves. She would, yep, wanted to be appear the victim. Absolutely. Some of our friends suffering. She was taking on us. Yeah, they only take it out on the ones that are different. So if you are, different or slightly different from their patterns or things that they're doing, um, it's just, yeah, it's just weird. It's just really weird. But it's just time to live for me. It's time to live for me. And even though all that she's doing and she's still trying to do and stuff like that, like, I'm at peace. I'm calm with everything. I don't even have a hate in my body for her. I just don't. It's like, oh, okay. Because I've been through so much. I had to find a space to heal that. Because if I wasn't able to heal that, then I would have been in the predicament, the situation that they wanted me in. They wanted me in like a mental instability and something like that. And they even went as far as to say that I was mentally insane, which is weird. That it just doesn't make sense. They want your help. They want to use you, but then they say you're mentally insane, but yet you're helping them. Like, it don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. Which one is it? Am I mentally insane, or I'm a nice person and I'm a helper? Like, which one is it? Like, don't play in my face. Do not play in my face. I just don't like that. I was shamed for it. I was shamed for existing. Yeah, like I was in fourth grade. No. I was in eighth grade, and I finally got my menstrual in eighth grade. I was like the late bloomer. I didn't know anything about anything because she didn't teach me anything about anything. All I know is I got up and it was in class. I was in eighth grade class. I got up and it was all over my pants. Like when I sat, it was all in the back of my pants. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. You know what she did? She came to the school. That's it. No clothes, no nothing. She just came to the school and I had to walk all the way home with that blood on my pants like that. She didn't bring an extra set of clothes, a towel, a hoodie, nothing. The school block was maybe about 5 blocks. I was like 5 blocks away from the neighborhood school. And she made sure I walked all the way back like that. I was like, wow. And when it comes to my sister, she get everything. She cool, she this, she that. You know what I mean? It's cool. But now my sister, she's on drugs. She can't pay like her things or whatever. She got a lot of things that's going on with her. Yeah, she's a addict, to say that way. They didn't have anything. They didn't have anything that fit. Yeah, they didn't have anything that fit me. So that was that. I had to learn how to cook at an early age because I was there to just serve them and honor them. And I didn't like that. Like I've always had pushback. I've always had pushback. Certain things that I did not want to do, I always had pushback. And it just infuriated her more that I kept pushing back because I'm always questioning, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You know what I mean? And it was always, don't ask me anything, be quiet, stay quiet, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, sometimes like, no, you stay quiet. Or what you say to me? And I'll be like, no, you stay quiet. Like I'm giving them what they giving me and they can't handle it. I was always like that as a young lad. You just say, who are you talking to? You. I'm talking to you. You're talking to me like that, right? Well, I'm talking to you. Well, you need to stay in the child's place. You need to, even as an adult, she told me to stay in the child's place. But the moment I heard that, I laughed till I cried. You hear me? Y'all know how I laugh, child. I laughed till I cried. This lady told me you need to stay in the child's place after she initiated trying to get me out of, man, I chewed her up so quick, child. Ah, wow. Yeah, I always would tell her, like, I despised her. I will always say, I despise her. I said, I can't wait till I leave here until I'm 18. You can go now and da. And I said, I promise you, once I leave here, I'm never coming back. And I meant that. I never went back. Well, I did when I had to go for so I take that back. I did go back. but it was access denied anyway. She told me no, I couldn't go. So I stayed with my friend until I was able to get my own place. And once I got my own place, it was smooth sailing. And when I got my own place, she wanted to come back around and she wanted to see my living conditions. Like, I didn't have the best of the best, but I made the best of what I had. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. So slowly but surely, I started to make more money and my business is doing well and stuff like that. And I started to fill the home up as a whole. So, oh, look at this couch. And my friend gave me her whole old couch. And I'm like, I'll take it. I was very grateful for the things that, you know what I mean? I was very grateful for it. And when everything came along, the couch was nice. It was a nice gold color, like a goldish brown. I had like a big seat and a love seat. I had a nice big carpet. Like, it felt like home, really felt like home. And when she came to my house, ew, this looks drapey. Ew, this looks old. Ew, this looks this. Ew. And I'm like, why are you coming here and talk about the way my house look? My house look good. It's clean. You can peep in. You can smell the niceness in there, the food cooking. You know what I mean? So what's the issue? But it was always you need to clean better and you need to do better and you need to do this and that. And I just don't want no parts of it. I have 4 kids and I won't be doing that to my kids. I'm just not. Yeah, they want you to live your life through them. Absolutely, they do. Yeah. Yeah, everything is very negative. It's negative to the point where it can actually make you sick. Yeah, to the point it make you sick. Like, it'll be times when we go on school trips and I look forward to school trips because I love to learn. So I always look forward to the educational part of the trip when I was younger. And everybody would have like lunches and stuff, and the type of lunches that they would have, and it was for a reason. She would do this on purpose. So I would ask for certain things and it'll be like a month before. So they always give you time to plan for the trip. And we lived, or I wouldn't say we, because I didn't live that life. They lived a very comfortable life, but I lived a very poor life. So even though money was not an issue or anything like that, he made sure, the stepfather made sure, and he gave her the best of the best and all that stuff. So money wasn't an issue where people couldn't see, but I always got the bare minimum. Like, I had to stretch my underwear, I had to stretch my bra sets, you know what I mean? And when I have to stretch it because I can't work, I'm not allowed to work, and I'm in their home, then it's, oh, well, you got this in your underwear and you got that under, you got holes in your underwear and your bra, why your bra looking so old? And it's like, yo, what the, like, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, you're putting me in cycles or certain situations and predicaments to where I can't get out of it. And then you're trying to blame me for the reason why I can't get out of the situation that you're trying to put me in. So it's just really, I like, what is going on? And I just started looking closer to her and I'm like, man, what is going on with that? Like, what is going on with that? So, wow, you wasn't allowed to eat? Wow. That's crazy. It's very despicable. Yeah, it was to demean me, but I've always been by myself. So even if she talking, I would just ignore her or whatever, and she didn't like that. Like, I've always found ways to tune her out. But like I said, now that I can look back and see, I didn't know I was like really, a force to be reckoned with. I didn't know that, but now I know. Now I understand why they don't like me. And I mean, it's not my problem, not my concern. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But yeah, that's just how she is. She's just a very evil person. So I was talking about the lunch when I went and I always liked hoagies for lunch. And like I said, we weren't hurting for money. So they've always had money, 2 cars and stuff like that. So, because he always made sure and took care of them. But I always get like the ladder of things. So I would ask for certain things. And at some point in time, my sister's, her class would be on our trips, on our class trips. And she would get her whatever she wanted, and I would just have to get the bare minimum. And I'm just like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, why do I keep having to get the bare minimum? Even when we would go to the store, and like I said, I was skinny, but I was still a little bigger than them, even though I was skinny or a smaller frame. And we'll go to certain parts because I'm a little bigger than them, and she will make fun of me. She'll like say things so loud in public. Look at your such and such, or that won't fit you, or that won't look right. You're gonna look saggy, or that's gonna look this to that. And I'm like, bruh, like, so I will always come back at her because I'm, I'm big chested and she real flat chested. So I'm like, well, you just mad because you don't have nothing to put in between them two bars you call chest. You like, I will always try to jab at her, and she mad at me. Well, how you gonna be mad at me because I jabbed at you, child? It was always a back and forth, but I never liked to go anywhere with her, even with school trips, high school trips. She always got to be the center of attention. She always got to be the center of control. It was just, if I ate, they monitor. You shouldn't eat too much. You're getting too big. You're getting too thick. You're getting too fat. You're getting too this. And it's just like, it's just, I just learned how to tune it out. I just learned to the point where the words can't hurt me no more because they've been saying it over and over and over and over and over. And it's just to the point where I already knew that I wasn't like that. So I just tuned it out. I just tuned it out. Yeah, that's where I learned my art of detachment. I just tuned it out because it's like, yeah, this is not me. So, yeah, but I've been to jail. They put me in jail. These people are weird. I went on Facebook Live with that one. They didn't like it. My ex-husband was stalking me on my profile because the judge was like, well, you're not supposed to record in court. And I'm like, well, how would you know I'm recording in court? I'm looking at her and she looking at me. I'm going to put you in jail. You can't put me in jail for that. Well, how would you know what I was doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm pushing back. Well, how you know? I don't like the tone of your voice. I said, I don't like the tone of your voice. Well, you're not supposed to speak to me like that. I said, I can speak to you any way how you speak to me. See, the thing is, people don't like when they're doing it to you, it's okay. But as soon as you want to push back or you give them a little shoulder, they can't handle it. Well, then why are you doing it then? Because I'm always going to give you pushback, especially if you coming at me sideways unnecessarily. Well, let me bring that full circle for you so you can be hit hard in your chest. You don't like to be hit hard in your chest? Then don't do it. So I went to jail overnight, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then I realized, a couple things while I was there. And even the guard was like, you don't even belong here. I said, I know. He's like, what you in here for? It was so unique. He said that my case was so unique, they didn't even know how to put my information in the system. That's what that man told me. That man said he didn't even know how to input my information because he don't know what to put me down for. Officer Bailey, that was his name. I'll never forget him. Officer Bailey, that's what he said. Man, it was just weird. But yeah, I got out the next day. And when I got out, I went back on my social media because I posted on social media. I'm a rebel like that, so I don't care. And everybody saw it, and as soon as I was like in the jail and I couldn't respond to anything, you see my ex-husband on there, you see his girlfriend on there, and they trying to this and Donna is this and Donna's that, and it was like, well, why would you wait until she can't defend herself? Because people that know me know I defend myself. Why would you wait until she can't defend herself to say something? They just blurting all types of stuff on there, and I'm like, y'all weird. So that's when I knew it was him that did it. Again, they telling themselves. I sure did, and I do it again. I sure would do it again. So that don't put no fear in my heart. When I say I got something to say and I can't get my point across, there are many ways that I can get my point across. I wasn't hurting nobody. I'm just telling you what it is. And again, they didn't like the exposure because that exposed parts of things that they don't want people to hear or see. So now that I did that and I showed that, you can look on TikTok. It's pinned in my comments or pinned in my posts or the videos, like the first one. You will see it. You will see it on here, and I have it pinned on here. They were trying to give me 5 years in jail for recording. I said, child, please, I'm not going to be spending no time in jail. And I just as I said, just how I went out, was completely exonerated from everything. So like I always say, just tell the truth. Always tell the truth. And if all you do is tell the truth, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. And that's what I did. I told the truth. Ain't nothing to worry about. So they tried everything to put me in jail, and he really thought that I was going to stay in jail for 5 years for a recording of something that you refuse to listen to, for things that I exposed because you're not being the correct judge or you're not doing the right things that you should do as a judge. Child, please. I don't care if I'm down. You still, I'm too strong of a person. I feel like I'm a rock that just can't be broken because They've tried so many things for so many years that I just know and just see it, and it just does not faze me. And it just did nothing but just make me so strong to the point where it just it doesn't have an effect on me. It really don't. I don't know if that's a scary thing. I don't know, but it just does not have an effect on me. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, yelling and screaming, you, that don't have no effect on me. It just doesn't, because I've been going through it for so long. So yeah, and my ex-husband was like, you're in jail and you're in that and you're a bad this and you're a bad that, but you're out here creating crimes, you're doing money laundering, and then you were in the plot and trying to unalive me. Where are you at now? Why you ain't talking now? Why you in hiding now? Why you ain't got nothing to say publicly? Why'd you hide your Facebook account? Why'd you privatize your Instagram account? Why are you hiding things? Why you ain't speaking up? I don't see you nowhere. But yeah, you doing things quietly behind the scene. Again, why would I be afraid of someone who's doing something towards me? They doing it. I'm not afraid of them. So why should I be afraid to live? You see where I'm going with this? I'm not afraid of what you're doing towards me because you're doing it. You're more afraid of the situation than I am, because you know if I say something, things are going to change. So again, why would I be afraid of somebody doing something to me? Make it make sense. I just make it make sense. I don't. I'm scared of you. Why? You're doing it. You're scared of me because I can tell on you. That's it. You're scared of me because I can tell on you. So yeah, let's put that fear in the correct position here, because I'm not afraid of them. I'm just not. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I'm just not. That's why they run, and that's why their patterns change. Oh, and by the way, I have a class that's coming up. It's called Beyond the Veil, where I teach you guys different manipulative things that people do, more so like dark psychology. I feel like I've mastered that in regards to how people do things to try to get things to be their way in a very negative way. So that class is on September 7th. Okay. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Why would I be afraid of people that have to lie and hide? You're lying on me, but I got to be afraid of you lying on me, but the lie's not true. So why do I have to hide from a lie that's not true? It's not true. I agree. If I'm such a bad person, why do they say and do everything to me in secret behind my back? Kristen, I'm with you. I just, it don't make sense. How can you be afraid of people that have to lie and hide? You're lying about me, but you're hiding to do it. Then maybe it's not a lie, because if it's the truth, we gonna speak out loud. You just heard my story. I just spoke out loud. I spoke the truth. I ain't got nothing to hide. It is what it is. I say what I need to say, and I go to sleep well at night every night. And I know when I wake up, I ain't got nothing to worry about, because the truth is what it is. It's the truth. So yeah, it will be 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. The information is in the community board, and the cost is $60. If you want me to do some readings, you're going to have to pay for it. It's $25 for a read. So if you want me to do your readings, no problem. But we're going to, you're going to have to pay for that. Or book a private reading. Hey, Nat. So, yeah. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, people don't realize how calculating I am, and I love it. They be so shocked when they try to come for me and I outsmart them. Absolutely. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. They want you to be afraid of them because what they doing to you. They want you to be afraid of the outcome of what will happen if they were exposed. Ain't that something? They want you to be afraid of the outcome of what happens to them if they get caught. Why? Why? I got to be afraid of the decision that you made against me? Why? make sense. You said what now? So I gotta take the brunt of the abuse for what you're doing towards me? That's how these people think out here. Like what? It just don't make sense. They smear you with lies, but it's the lies of what they're doing. It's what they're doing. Thank you, boo. It's very weird. Yes, survivors are afraid because they inflict that fear onto them. Well, if you do this, if you tell, I'm gonna do this to you. And once people realize that, the more that people speak out in regards, thank you, the more that people speak out in regards to what's happening here, it won't happen. So it just won't happen. Just gotta need more people that's open to speak up. And even with the death plots and the death threats and the unaliving attempts these people try to do to me, it just didn't stop me. So thank you. Thank you for the heart. Yeah. Your abuse of me didn't stop me. And that's how I look at it. Look at it from a different perspective. Yes, I've been through abuse, but it's really their abuse that they try to put me through, not mine's. They just try to cover it up as if the abuse that I went through was more so self-inflicted, because it was to the point where they're always, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. They always wanted to embed that within me. So yes, even though I went through abuse, I understand I went through it. I acknowledge it. I recognize it. I do. But I'm just not in a space or in a headspace where I'm going to fall victim to it, because I'm not a victim of it. I don't have like a debilitating attitude towards it, or I don't feel shame about it either. Like I can have a conversation with anyone and don't feel shame about it. Like, yeah, I went through that, because I'm really at a stage in my life where it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. It doesn't bother me at all. It don't. Mm-mm. It don't bother me at all. Yeah. Period. I agree. Hi, Summer. I tap into my cocky side. People play with me. Hey, Miss Kitty. I agree. That's what I'm doing every day, George. That's what I try to do. Thank you, Chris. Yes, no shame, not a victim. That came out wrong. Victims. Yeah, no, we understand. I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what that is there, and that's why I've been, you know, it's so hurtful though. How did you overcome the betrayal? Good question. How did I overcome the betrayal? So first off, I didn't really look at it as betrayal, and the reason why I didn't look at it as betrayal, because they were trying to indirectly hurt me. They couldn't even do it directly, so I look at that as a form of like a coward move, more of a checkers move. And so because I didn't look at that as a form of betrayal, it didn't really affect me. I'm just being honest with you. Because I've been through it so much, it became embedded in me like, okay, maybe this is the life, maybe this is how things are supposed to be. And if things are going to be this way, well then I don't have to entertain it, I don't have to tolerate it. I don't have to live in it. So even though they indirectly try to betray me, I still don't feel betrayed by them, because at the end of it all, I'm not hurt, they are. So hopefully that clears up your question. I just see things in a very different way, and I don't see it as a form of betrayal, because like I said, they indirectly try to hurt me. but they only ended up hurting themselves at the end. So that's how I look at it. Yeah, that's how I look at it. You have to laugh. You do have to laugh about it. You do. Good morning. Not even your friend denying you. Oh yeah, but the reason why she denied me to stay at her house because she was a part of it, and she was very cold and very standoffish with me. And I just said, okay, no problem, don't worry about it. That's all I said. Just like how I'm speaking to you. I said, okay, don't worry about it, no problem. And boom, the next day I was in my own spot. So, didn't you feel betrayed? No, I didn't. I didn't. Mm-mm. Because as I mentioned, it was indirect. It was an indirect attack. It wasn't even directed towards me, even though it was. If that makes sense, I didn't look at it. I didn't look at it as a direct attack because they didn't even have the balls or the gall to do it in my face. So I don't look at it as betrayal because they didn't betray me. They betrayed themselves. So how long did it take you to stand on your feet again? Are you able to forgive them? So when things happen, it normally it's very quick. I don't stay down for a long time. I get up very quickly, very, very quickly. So as I mentioned, I had a house fire. I had to stay with my brother there about 3 months, and then I moved to Texas. So it's very short. I don't stay down for long. Are you able to forgive them? Yeah, I forgive the whole situation for what it is, but I don't have no emotions for it. So it doesn't have a space in my heart. It doesn't have a space in my mind. It doesn't affect me in the way that they wanted it to affect me. So no, I'm doing paid readings. If you want a reading, it'll be paid. So that's it. That's the truth. The truth is what it is. I can't fix it. I can't change the truth. That's what it is. And because I know that's what it is, Thank you, sunshine. Yeah, and that's the thing because they're coming. Thank you, sunshine. That's the thing because they're coming from a emotional state. Like they're pushing all this anger on you. They're pushing all this abuse on you. They're pushing all this crazy things onto you to get you to react how they will react. And the reason why they will react like that because that's what they went through. That's all they know. People can only treat you based on what they know. And if someone only knows abuse, and if someone only knows like heartache and stuff, what you think you're going to experience with them? That's all you're going to experience. Versus someone that is very well equipped and well aware of like emotional intelligence and things of that nature, well then that's what you're going to get. So yeah, you really got to be mindful of the company that you keep, and that goes for family too. Like really, and that's what I said. Yes, Sierra, I'm more of a logical person than emotional. You have to be logical, especially in these points here when you're dealing with narcissistic individuals. You really have to be logical. You can't be emotional. They're emotional. They think they're playing chess. They think they're logical, but they're trying to flip their logic onto you. They're trying to get you to dumb down yourself so you're not aware or you're not able to see the visible things that they're clearly showing you. And narcissist people always show you their hand if you just pay attention, if you catch my drift. They always show you their hands. Always, 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 always. So knowing you have that information now and they're showing you your hand, what are you doing? And the first thing they're going to do is flip it back on you. Oh, no, no, no. The minute that you see somebody trying to play head games with you, play it right back. And you going to see how they're going to have it. What? They're going to start malfunctioning and stuff. Because they're going to be like, what, wait, what? No one. Yeah. Like I said, everything starts in the mind. That's just my perspective of things. The psyche, the mentalism, the psychology of things. And if people are not coming from a healthy psychological standpoint of things and you're aware to see those things and point them out, it's going to put you in a better position to where you're going to be protected from these things that are not as healthy as, it should be for you to be around. So yeah. Come on, sign up for my class. Let me put it down. Y'all sign up for my class. It's $60, okay? And I'm teaching human conditioning and signs of like what you call it? Hold on, let me get it. It's called Beyond the Veil, and you'll be learning about um, dark psychology of narcissist people, and not just narcissists, because it could be spread amongst a lot. But I just feel like if you learn the basics of the human condition, of how people think, react, and move towards things, you're going to really put yourself in a bigger position. Thank you. You're going to put yourself in a bigger position in regards to, yeah, just knowing what they're doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the link here, and it's an hour class, and it starts next Saturday, September 7th at 12 p.m. Noon Central Standard Time. What about someone who has a form of psychopathy, such as myself? I'm incapable of certain feelings, but I'm not aware of playing games, even though I might not react the way people think I should. Let me read that again. I'm incapable of certain feelings, okay, but I'm not aware of playing games, okay, even though I might not react. So that will be shadow work that needs to be done. So if you're in a position, or, you know, in a state where you feel like you can't feel emotions, that's because of trauma that you may have suppressed from whenever it happened and you never got around to it. So I definitely recommend doing some shadow work in regards to that, to help you to be aware of the emotions, because you need your emotions. It's a good thing you know how to turn it off, which is the art of detachment, but you still need to use your emotions. So by you not being aware to use the set emotions that you should be using, it's going to put you in a predicament or a situation as to why people feel like they could play you, because you don't show emotions. You don't show emotions because you don't know what emotions to show, if that makes sense. You don't know which one to use. And if you don't have the information, the edification, or the tools, or the knowledge to determine or to decipher which emotion you should be using for that whatever scenario at the time, then yeah, people are going to feel like they can always play you. So I highly recommend doing some shadow work for that. Shameless plug, if you want me to help you, I do have a session for that. It's called Chronicles of the Shadows, okay? That's for half an hour at 125. So if you're interested in that, we can get in your shadows too. I'm just listening, okay? I'm just going to put it out there. So, but yeah. Hello. Hi, Barsha. Hey. So yeah. The world is, yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah. So you're welcome. But yeah, definitely shadow work for sure. Definitely shadow work. No, Yeah, they're full of lots of liars and thieves, absolutely. So yeah. Oh, whew. Yeah. Shadow work is not a one-time thing. You got to be consistent with it. Okay. No problem. Agreed. Sierra, I think it's great that you want to do psychology, because psychopathy, sociopath, narcs, I wonder if a psychologist understood shadow work would be better. Would there be better treatments for those conditions? I don't. So again, this is just my own perspective on how I just see things, and I just feel with just today's what's out there currently, I think everything is more textbook. Again, that's just my personal opinion, talking with others and stuff of that nature. I feel like it's more textbook, and I do feel, even though I feel like some may have went through the experience, I don't feel like they may use their experience to the limit, or like they don't use their experience as much. I feel like there's some things that are, and I really feel like one way, or the most important way to heal others, is through the experience of others. Meaning, if you went through that and somebody else went through that and you can relate, then you can help that person, you know what I mean, that's actually going through it, that might need some assistance, you know what I mean. So I just feel, because I went to like therapy and stuff like that, and I realized like the type of questions I would ask, I just feel like it's not, again, my own perspective, I just feel like they're not asking the right questions because everything feels so textbook or by the textbook. So some of them don't even believe in spirituality, because you know, when you have individuals that are coming to you and they're speaking about their gifts, the first thing they may label them as crazy, or you need a Zoloft or whatever medicine is, you know what I mean? They want to put them in some kind of medication, and that's not always the case, you know? So if you're looking at it from both a mundane and a spiritual mindset, you're going to be able to see, okay, I understand. I've been through that, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like a lot of people are putting the spiritual aspect of things together with the mundane things. They just automatically assume it's just that one thing. You're crazy, you're this and you're that. And that's not the case. But if you have someone that is connected both sides, like I am, and I can see, like, okay, I understand the mundane and I understand the spiritual, you know what I mean? Then I feel like things will start to take a change or turn, or you know what I mean, for the better. So that's just my point of view on that. Talk therapy for not resolved trauma, speaking from experience. Talk therapy. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding you. So you're saying talk therapy is not for resolved trauma? Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. Shadow work and going inward is it. I think that's what you're saying, but I just want to make sure I'm reading that correctly. Um, yes, I follow Dr. Ramani. I do. Okay, yes, I agree, Kristen. Yes, I agree with you. I do. So Kristen say on TikTok, talk therapy does not resolve trauma. I agree. Speaking from experience, shadow work and going inward is it. That's true, because if you're just talking about it, you're just talking about it to release it. But if you're not able to get to the point or pinpoint the part, or more so pinpoint the origin as to when it happened, when it transpired, how are you really making a change? And especially with individuals that have been abused in very strong experiences, here from my point of view, I realize that there is a spiritual aspect to it. I really do. Because a lot of people, when they, from my experience and who I spoke with, and in regards to the readings that I do as well too, I noticed that a lot of people are looking for a form of like a spiritual something, a spiritual enlightenment, you know. And once I realized that, I realized it wasn't just mundane. It's both mundane and spiritual. And if you're able to put the two together, it's going to marry well together. So that's just how I see it there. So that's why I want to I want to get in the field, because I just see a lot of holes in it, and I'm like, nah, that ain't right. That don't look right. You know, like, I understand you need the book smarts and the book sense for it. I completely understand that. But I feel like there are other avenues and other things as well that you need to really help the individuals at hand, you know, because a lot of it is spiritual, but they won't listen to it, or they don't want to bring spirituality in it, or they don't want to bring religion in it because it's a touchy subject. Well, that's the subject that needs to be touched, because especially if you're in a psychology field, you need to know the psychology is also spiritual. So it goes hand in hand. If you don't know that, then what are you really servicing? And I'm just being honest. I ain't trying to dig at nobody enough. And what are you really servicing if you just doing mundane stuff? Because you're going to have people that's going to come to you and say, hey, I saw, or I heard, or I felt, you know, those are spiritual terms. And people go through these things on a day to day. And the reason why they're having their awakening, their enlightenment, is sometimes because of the abuse that they're going through. And sometimes the abuse helps them to get enlightened on the things that they need to be seeing, you know? So I just, again, that's just my perspective on it. So yeah, philomosity, yeah, I agree. I agree. You can't just speak about it. Speaking about it is cool, but you gotta have action to speaking about it. So yeah, you went through what you went through, you experienced it completely. I understand. Yep, I get that. But what are you doing to change the narrative of the situation? Are you just going to keep talking about it, or are you going to actually change the narrative by actually doing something, you know? So I'm just trying to come in and just to bridge that gap so you can be like, oh, okay, I understand that. And, that makes sense, but shadow work is very important. And a lot of people don't want to do shadow work because they think shadow work is the devil. It's mean. It's how is shadow work the devil unless you're the devil yourself? Like, how is shadow work the devil? Yeah, you're going into the dark to see what's going on. But if you have the guiding light, right, the divine guiding light, and you're able to allow, the divine to guide you however way you see fit, and you let that light guide you, how are you not going to get stuck? Nothing bad going to happen to you. The worst going to happen to you is you cry. I mean, that's the worst going to happen to you is that you're going to cry. And if you cry, that means you're on the right path. That means you're being triggered to go on the right path. That's okay. See, when you're scared of things and you know that you should be doing something, but you're afraid to do something because you're afraid of the outcome of you doing something that you feel like you shouldn't be doing, but you should be doing it to begin with, that's where the faith comes in. Every day, sometimes we may not be in a confident mode or a confident state of things, and that's where faith comes in. That's where the faith is in reserve. If you ain't got the confidence today, which is fine, but you got the faith, all right, cool. You know what? I ain't feeling too well today. I ain't feeling too hot today. I might not be too confident today, but I still got faith that I'm going to move forward, push forward, and keep, you know what I mean? That's where your faith kick in reserve. So, yeah. Yes, and that's fine for Lumosity. There's no right or wrong way. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, that's fine. How would you protect your success from people who they don't have your best interests at heart? They ask you questions. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to. That's the answer. You don't have to give anybody anything about you if you don't want to. You are in control of you. You're in control of your information. You're in control of your emotion. You're in control of your identity. You are in control, Summer. So that's how you protect yourself, by not saying anything. If you want to say something, then say something that's not too, that don't really fit your story. Embellish a bit, okay? But if you feel like you have to say something, you can embellish. They don't have to know nothing just because I'm coming to you and ask you, hey, Summer, how old are you? You don't have to tell me how old you are. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell me anything about you. So that's how you protect your success. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to answer. That's it. That's all. Yeah, you ain't got to answer that. That's a tapestry. What's that? Tapestry. So yeah. I love you back, boo. I was under such spiritual and emotional attack that I grabbed. Ooh. Why? No, not him. Why you do that one? He was cool. I gotta figure out how to get you back. He was cool. Okay, I gotta figure it out. All right, I gotta figure it out. I'm sorry. No, George was cool. It's okay. 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 Don't worry about it. Let me see if I can get him back this way. I got him. I got him. Wait. Maybe I gotta figure it out. Hold on. I gotta figure it out. I don't know how to. Give me a sec. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to figure it out. It's okay. Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. Okay. He's cool. You're good though. Okay, thank you. What if they slamming your name, lying on you, stalking you, doing campaigns on you? What can you do about it? You can speak about it. You can speak about it. But just know, if you speak about it, you have to have tough skin. You must. That's imperative. It is imperative that you have tough skin. And if you know that you don't have tough skin, because they're going to come. Oh, yeah. They're going to come after you like white on rice. That's facts. But if you know deep down that they can't do nothing to you, they can't hurt you, they can't harm you, you know what I mean? And you feel very confident in what you're saying, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. But you got to be very sure about that before you do that. Because they will come out like a wrecking ball. They won't come out, child. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. So you can't let the haters hate you. Or, yeah, you can't let the laters. So I have a couple more readings that I have to do. I'll be live on Facebook Live to do readings tonight. Is it lagging? Yeah, it is. Let me see. Is that better? Yeah, it is better. Okay, I see it. Perfect. I had to turn off the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi was Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. Okay, cool. Yeah, I see it. I'm on my phone down here. So as I'm saying, I'm about to get off of here. I have to do more readings and things of that nature. If you would like a private read, the information is posted below. It's also in my community tab. Also, the class for Under the Veil is basically, it's a human conditioning class. It will be introductory, of course, but it's an introductory class of learning how people do things in a very negative or dark way. That's what my spirit is pushing me to teach that class. So if you're interested, the class is on September 7th and it's $60 for that class, okay? Yeah, so you want to book a reading. Yeah, all that information is in my description box. I just posted the information, so here it is again. Hopefully it's saved. It did not. It did not. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Here it is. All right, so that's the information for the class. All right, I'm getting off of TikTok. See you, TikTok. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to end TikTok. All right, TikTok's ended. And then, okay. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. So I'm not going nowhere. I'm just getting started. I'm not afraid of nobody, like I said. I think this is very interesting. And yeah. So like I said, I will be on Facebook Live for readings tonight, probably around like 6 o'clock or so. I might be on for like maybe an hour or two. We'll see. And yeah, so that's all I got to say. And I'll see y'all later tonight.